Me one mic, everybody's got excuses, but you got one life to live, one life to give, one moment, one opportunity. Boy, that's it, and it's all said and done. When the going gets tough and the tough gets going, you just go ahead and run. Cause opinions are like assholes, everybody has one. They're being constructive or they jealous of the outcome. It's not about the times you fail, it's about the times you got up. And I don't even care what the fuck your excuses is. Fact is, you just playing the cards of foolishness. What you think I'm dubious, you gotta get up, get going and just move on. Don't look towards the past, you gotta groove on. You procrastinating now, you gotta get that motivation. I already created a track called Inspiration. Gotta get up, get going and get fucking hype. Go.
Welcome, everybody, to Wrestling Talk Now. It is Thursday Night Rundown. It is your boy, Justin JLB. And what a freaking week we are going to get to. Hot diggity damn. Kid Crazy, what are the chances you can lower that TV?
Oh, yeah, I'll try to take care of that right now.
Fair enough. Yes, so what a week. We obviously had... all I have is CM Punk drama in my head. We obviously had NXT Worlds Collide. We had then Clash at the Castle. We had the AEW All Out show. And of course, we had the press conference scrum, which ended up to be huge news of the week. And we also had MJF come back. So there's a lot to talk to, a lot to get to. And of course, I am not alone. I am always with Mr. B-I-G-R-E-D, Big Red. How goes it, good sir?
Well, I'm just tired with this drama. I'm telling you, this is worse than Days of Our Lives.
Wouldn't go that far. I still prefer this drama over Days of Our Lives. Yeah, that's fair, though. Fair point.
CM Punk's the new Stefano Di Mera, I'm telling you.
Oh, jeez. And, of course, those are fighting words. And Kid Crazy, of course, is back with us off cam because he likes to play hooky at work and join our podcast at the same time. So we're super down, and we appreciate you, good sir. How are you doing?
I'm doing pretty good. Hope everybody's okay. I think this is the most... not exciting, but the most movement in backstage wrestling in quite a while. So, yeah, there's a lot to get to it. So let's do it.
No, that's it. So let's get to it. I really don't know where we start. Do we start with the CM Punk craziness?
I think we have to start with
that is the big news, technically.
Yeah, we have to start with the conference.
Well, yeah, because usually we start with breaking news, so I guess that would be like the biggest breaking news in all this stuff. But maybe we could put it in context a bit, like how this all came to be back in the March promo of Hangman Page, because he seems to be really pissed about that promo. That promo was done in kind of a build-up for their match, and Hangman Page had said in the promo that CM Punk shouldn't be talking about workers' rights because what he's seen until now in AEW, he's completely the opposite, and that he will now not only be defending the AEW championship, but also the company AEW. And apparently, CM Punk really didn't like that. What up, Jeff?
What's up? What's up, guys?
And apparently CM Punk really didn't like that, but CM Punk got hurt on the next Rampage in that match. I really never had a chance to, with a live mic, to get back at Adam Page. But as soon as he did, then we remembered the Snow Angels in the ring, and the calling out Adam Page when it had nothing to do with the story. And apparently shit got heavier there. And now we come to after All Out in the press conference scum. That I don't know if people have been living under a rock, haven't heard about it. But he just went all out on Scott Coleman, which is Colt Cabana, on a Hangman Page, and on the EVPs with our Bucks and Kenny Omega. So, yeah. If you want to put into context what he said at that press conference.
Oh my God!
I figured you just did.
Yeah, he can barely speak English himself.
Okay, Jeff, would you like to put it in context then, good sir? I'll give you the mic. What are you doing? I don't want to see your face full screen. Thank you.
I don't want to see yours, but look at that.
It's not full screen. Wait,
No,
well, would
because
you like to take it away, Jeff? Because did you watch
Yeah.
it? Obviously, you know.
Well, yeah, I've watched it many times. I don't have a. The only problem, maybe I would say he maybe shouldn't have went down, was maybe calling out the EVPs. But as far as now at least we have some context about what the heat was with Colt Cabana. Because we didn't really know the full story. And he was seemingly asked about Colt Cabana before the media scrum was asked. I don't think he brought him up. There
No,
was an
wait.
But we asked.
Apparently, he wasn't asked. Apparently,
There you go.
he asked everybody in the press conference, whatever, the journalists. He goes, "Do any of you fancy yourself journalists?
Yeah.
Any of you here friends with Scott Coltman?" And then there's
Yeah.
one guy that apparently was friends, but they're less friends now, and he just went off on Scott. Yeah.
No, I mean, I
Oh,
think what he
okay.
said was telling. I think like I said, it puts stuff into context. Listen, like I said in our group chat, I mean, there's two sides to every story, right? So I mean, we
Right.
don't know. We only hear what the dirty sheets want some people to hear, and it's their point of view from one. Like they're telling a point of view from one person's point of view. You know what I
Right.
mean? So we could harp on CM Punk being a prima donna and all that, but at a certain point, it's kind of like what I said in a previous week where we were talking, I think, about MJF and like some of these guys that have like really big egos. These guys, you have to understand, were indie guys that were put on a platform, and a lot of people now, even the Young Bucks too, know more Young Bucks, Kenny Omega, MJF, Orange Cassidy, because of these stars that are coming in that are putting them on that upper level.
Mm.
You know what I mean? So it's like if their egos get in the way, and when you have an established name like CM Punk, because regardless of what you want to say about him, he sells tickets. So you're gonna have that contrast, that conflict of interest in a way. So overall, I don't necessarily really have a problem with how he went off. I think it was just like him setting people straight. Even during that media scrum, Jericho went on. I think he had, or I don't know if he said it during the media scrum or he had said it that. I think he did, yeah, where he said that he kind of had to speak up at one point, saying, "Hey guys, stop leaking shit." Basically,
Yes.
I'm paraphrasing,
Right.
but he did say that.
Mhm.
So for a guy who's established as Jericho is, you would think that he doesn't give a shit. He's just there to collect his paycheck. So he's doing his part.
Right.
So, but getting back to the CM Punk thing, I don't have a problem.
Oh, that's a lot to
So,
handle there.
yeah, well, I mean, listen. Okay, so for those who are unaware and have been living under this huge rock that's been taking place the last 3 days, media scrum basically happened. He starts talking about Colt Cabana. We get all more juicy details, if you will, about the lawsuit. CM Punk does claim that, listen, I even tried giving him money afterwards because the whole thing is we knew that CM Punk's thing ended. Lawsuit ended with WWE, but Colt Cabana was complaining that CM Punk stopped paying his lawyer fees for Colt Cabana or didn't want to split it and all that stuff. So now we get a whole thing where CM Punk mentions, listen, this is what it is. I tried giving him money, blah, blah, blah. And then he mentions he has a shared bank account with his mother. So I didn't want to sue him because of that. And it would be a whole
kinda
thing.
funny.
So, and then he calls out the EVPs, like you guys mentioned, really calls them out and says, listen, I'm tired of this childhood bullshit. He calls Adam Page
Empty-headed.
empty-headed.
F-head.
Either way, he uses certain words. And this guy is clearly still has a lot of
Anger management.
stuff that he clearly hasn't. And the problem is, I just think there's complete lack of communication. Completely. This shit has been going on for so long. I get his annoyance of people keep talking about the whole Colt Cabana scenario. He's like, listen, I haven't talked to this guy for like 10 years, and this shit is still being brought up. I don't want anything to do with this guy. And I get the frustration, but the whole problem with everything that he is saying, he should have maybe done what Jericho did.
Yep.
Listen, honestly, what was said in that what was said backstage was literally just for us, but I'll give you a little glimpse of what I kind of maybe mentioned. But at the end of the day, it's not for you guys to know. You're not going to know it. I get it. You're the dirt sheets or the dirty sheets, whatever have you, and you're going to try to want to get the inside scoops, but you shouldn't know everything. Not everything is for you guys, and not everything should be posted on social media everywhere. It's none of your business at the end of the day. Sure, you want little spoilers here and there, great. But when it comes to who you're friends with and who in this and what is happening between these guys backstage, it really doesn't matter if you guys know or not. It doesn't affect you as a wrestling fan one way or another. You should just be focused on the show if you want to know, spoilers or whatever have you. And that's why I honestly think CM Punk, I get him being frustrated, but him himself, he's a prima donna. He's bitching about Adam Page going into work
Business
for himself, business for himself. But in reality, CM Punk does that too. So
But I wanted to just make a quick comment. Yeah, I just want to make a quick comment to what you had said earlier about how it should have been kept off anything.
Right.
That goes to even the Young Bucks who commented on CM Punk about accusing him that Colt Cabana that CM Punk was the reason why Colt Cabana was not in AEW anymore. They could have, and they're EVPs. Keep in mind,
Right.
so they're in
they
many
made this
cases,
comment on some interview.
Well, no,
Like
apparently
it was
apparently it was on social media from what CM Punk said during the media scrum.
No, I think what CM Punk was saying that they're the ones who leaked it to the media.
Yeah,
Well, yeah.
yeah.
So I
That's
mean,
what-
these are guys who are representing the company and seem proud to do so. So I mean, their hands aren't squeaky clean either in this,
No,
Oh, yeah, of course.
everyone here is completely at fault. Everyone here is completely at fault, in my opinion. Even before the backstage brawl that happened afterwards, everyone here is just children. They're children in this whole entire scenario. Listen, I get you're going to be frustrated if the Young Bucks did leak that. Sure, the Young Bucks, though, shouldn't have been leaking anything like that anyways. I get it. You're friends, whatever, like CM Punk said. But at the end of the day, everyone here is to blame. Young Bucks are to blame because they should certainly act more professional. Because they are EVPs. CM Punk should act more professional by not fucking dishing the dirt out on a scrum and whatever have you. You want to do that backstage, do your own little thing, whatever. Okay? Tony Khan's unprofessional because he clearly doesn't know how to handle it. And he looked like a complete idiot being there besides CM Punk and even commenting on the matter on Forbes like 2 days earlier. What he had mentioned, I shouldn't have said anything. And then Punk was like, well, no, listen, but at the end of the day, EVPs are stupid too. Everyone here is completely at fault. CM Punk just looks the worst because CM Punk is kind of doing it on a more public platform, if you will. He's doing it live on a press conference in front of all of the dirt sheets to hear. And that's why for a lot of people, it seemed like maybe it was kind of a work. Maybe it was a little work. What are they going to do with this? Are they going to bring Colt versus CM Punk at some point? Because we've seen Tony Khan do that from shoot to work. We've seen him do that in the past. So, it had a lot of people talking. Maybe CM Punk said what he said because he did get injured. Apparently, he did get injured on the match when he did the suicide dive to Moxley. So maybe he's like, fuck it, I have nothing to lose. I'm going to be out for a hot minute anyways. Let me spill it all out. But essentially, Tony Khan should have told CM Punk, listen, no. We're not doing this. This is not about you. This is not about your gripe. This is not about your beef. This is about All Out. This is an All Out scrum, press conference, what happened at the show. So
exactly.
He's too much of a he comes off just as a whiny bitch though. Like this is not. He likes to hear himself talk. I guess kind of like I do because I've been talking for a hot minute. But he likes to hear himself talk and he likes to be the center of attention. And I am, for one, just completely over it. We've seen him do the same shit in WWE. So this is not coming out of nowhere, in my opinion.
We all know how sensitive CM Punk is because when
Come on, sensitive. He's a cocky prick. I'm sorry.
Well, no, he's definitely sensitive because when that guy in last week's Dynamite was chanting Colt Cabana, he absolutely lost it and then fat shamed him in front of everybody, in front of 20,000 people. So we know this subject is a bit sensitive to CM Punk. We also know that, well, at least in my opinion, I don't know what that noise is. Sorry, CM Punk went into that press conference knowing what he was about to say.
Of course, yeah.
Guaranteed, because it seemed like he wanted to be asked about it, but nobody asked about it, so he went off on it anyways. So something in this hits him personally hard, obviously. Now, everybody knows how much I'm not a big fan of CM Punk, but I think most of the blame here lands on Tony Khan's lap here, because like Justin was saying, Tony Khan was just there sitting next to him and just kind of, he wasn't nodding his head, but by him not saying anything, he was kind of cautioning what Punk was saying. And I definitely think that Punk went out of line. Okay, maybe you want to explain the whole Colt situation publicly so everybody gets your side of the story also.
Right. It's not the place to do it.
Even though it's not the place to do it, okay, whatever. But then to throw the EVPs under the bus, then that you should take care of backstage if there's a problem. If there's a problem there. It makes him, like Justin was saying, it makes him look weak. It makes him look like a baby, and it's not the great look for the company. And I think the one with the worst look here is definitely Tony Khan. There's a lack of leadership in that locker room that Tony doesn't put his pants on and put his foot on the floor and say, okay, this is enough, guys. This is a professional environment over here. We're going to be professionals, and everything is going to be taken care of inside the family. Instead, he just let shit hit the fan and let shit fly over everybody, which didn't help nobody. I think from now on, Bryan Danielson, Mox should take over, and Jericho. Yes, sorry for forgetting Jericho. Should take over the leadership of this locker room.
Well, there's also the coaches too.
Oh yeah. Well, because Christopher Daniels got suspended.
Okay.
Obviously, Ace Steel got suspended
or fired. We don't know yet.
Well, we don't know yet. Yeah, Nakazawa got suspended. So everybody that was involved or was in the vicinity had some kind of punishment. So okay, now he realizes shit's hitting the fan. So yeah, I gotta look like I'm wearing some pants, and but now it shit's out of the bag. I don't know if he's going to be able to contain this unless I'm sorry to say it, but unless you fire Punk.
You know how you turn this around? You turn Punk heel.
Yeah, that'd be a good way to do it. Yes.
That's how you solve the problem. You turn him.
Well, I mean, does it solve a problem though?
I don't think it solves a problem at all.
Okay, but it as far as what we see, obviously the backstage.
TV,
yeah, with the backstage stuff, that's another thing. That's something that they're gonna have to maybe try to work out. But as far as fans, as us are concerned, because look, we're not backstage, right? So we don't see and we don't hear what's going on. We just get feedback from what shit is leaked from people. But on camera, because now this news is out there, how you kind of detract from what happened at the media scrum, he comes back heel.
Yeah, but he's only coming back if he comes back to 6 to 9 months. And that's a big if in my opinion.
That's okay. Him having time off is fine. Have him time off, have him off camera. Then he'll come back, he'll get a pop, but then he turns heel.
So yeah, I mean, I just don't know. I think more the matter at this point is we got to fix this issue. CM Punk has got to calm down. Like he's got to take. Apparently, he did a whole meeting with everybody on Tuesday or something before.
Yeah, it was a 4 p.m. Zoom call. I think he had
4 p.m. Zoom call or something.
With the elite and everyone.
Well, apparently there was a bunch of people he talked to, and then he had a meeting with Punk. As well to discuss what was going to happen for Dynamite. I don't know. Like this problem has to be resolved backstage, or else it's just going to be the same shit, and something worse is going to happen instead of just a bite and a chair being thrown. Granted, it was by freaking Ace Steel that was doing the majority of crazy stuff, but CM Punk apparently had thrown a punch and. I don't know. We don't really know the full-fledged story, though. The one that seems to be in consensus with everything is that Omega was the one that took Larry out of the locker room. That's the only thing that people are saying about that, what legit happened. So we're still waiting to see what happens there. But I think the backstage stuff does need to be resolved, and it can't be resolved. Unfortunately, I think Punk is gonna get the rut of getting fired for it. Because at the end of the day, Khan, if he's going to have to choose sides and going to have to get rid of someone, sure, the Punk is his meal tickets. But at the end of the day, you're not going to get rid of Bucks and Omega.
No, but they don't sell tickets the way Punk does.
They don't.
Sorry.
But at the end of,
here's another thing. Here's another thing that could maybe help out. Get rid of the EVPs. Put people in there that are established. If you're gonna have someone as an EVP, put someone that is established, who's not talent, who's not looking to put themselves over.
That's true.
Because that's where a lot of this shit happens too, guy. Look,
right.
How I mean, was it a surprise to you that they won the trios title? No. So they basically booked themselves into winning. So that's what.
Yeah, I agree, but we have to remember that for the first 2 years, these guys were booking themselves out of championships, so they don't look like this, bad like this. Now, yes, they won the trios champion. I think Kenny was still the best AEW champion till now. Young Bucks, I don't think were the best tag team champions though. But I think saying that they booked themselves into championships is a bit harsh though.
They did, though, but I think they did it fairly in a way that did make sense. So I don't necessarily think it's biased booking that they're doing. I do agree that eventually ego might come into play when you are a talent and you also are an EVP. I do agree with that, though. That should never be, because ego will come in at some point regardless.
Yeah, but that's the thing. I mean, it's like it's kind of like maybe some negative press that Triple H would have gotten when he won the title a few years ago while he was like running the COO.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You're running the company. You're helping running the company. You're already over.
Right.
You know what I mean? At the end of the day, you're already over within that company structure.
But there's two cues would be that he was married to Stephanie and yada yada.
Yeah, so I mean, I think what Tony has to do is keep them as talent. Just be talent. You want to help out backstage? Fine, because it was your idea. Fine, you know. But Justin, are you scurrying for your nuts again?
This is not me. Who the fuck is doing something?
Are you looking for your peanuts again? What the fuck, man?
I don't know.
Okay. Anyway, so I think that's what it is. That the talent. I think the only exception to those EVPs that maybe that it seemingly wasn't an issue with them really was the guy that's not there anymore.
Cody,
because he understood business.
Yeah.
He was a guy that learned from his father, who his father was a booker of a territory,
exactly,
but understood business. He knew how to put people over. At the end of the day, these guys, what the fuck do they know about that? They don't.
Right.
You think things? Finish. You think things will be finish? Yes. Go, Jeff. Go, Jeff.
Yeah, sorry. No, but I just think that has to end. They have established people in there. Yeah, sorry.
You're good.
Yeah, good. Yeah.
Okay. Do you think it'll be the end fall would be different if Cody was still there?
Yeah.
Okay.
Absolutely. Yeah. Because I think not only did while Cody was in AEW, not only did he end racism, but he apparently also kept the locker room together.
Yeah.
It's really looking a lot like that now, and a lot of people maybe respected Cody in a certain way where they weren't gonna try to take over and whatever have you. So I think Cody was established enough and helped a lot backstage too with that.
It definitely seems the perception here is that Cody was a better locker room leader than any of the other EVPs, and including the owners.
Right.
And I want to be clear here with before, because I was disagreeing with Jeff about that being a bit too harsh, but I definitely agree with him about the thing about EVPs being talents. It's definitely doesn't work out. Common sense, logic will because it's perception. Even though you're not booking yourself into championships, the rest of the locker room or even the fans will still have that perception, and it's not a good look. So I definitely agree with Jeff about Tony Khan taking away the EVP titles And if you guys want to help out backstage, no problem. But in the booking, you guys have no. It has to be known to everybody that these guys have no more word on booking.
But doesn't Tony Khan have 100% on creative and booking?
Yeah, he does, but I'm sure he's taking influence from other people. Because
Oh,
otherwise,
yeah.
he doesn't.
Okay.
So he's gonna take influence from guys like guys like Jericho. Yeah, because the guy's been around for so many years. Maybe guys like Jerry Lynn, Dustin
Sting.
Rhodes, Sting. These are guys who they're over just by being there. They don't have to put themselves over. They already are. You're taking feedback and points from all these other people. That makes sense. But taking it from three guys who basically only got over in one part of the world that we only ended up really knowing unless they wrestled on indie shows here. It's like in a way MJF is right. Tony Khan is a mark, not at the same level as John, but
Thank you. I am the mark.
MJF was wrong.
What do you guys think if Dustin Rhodes kind of? I'm not here to tell him when to retire or not, because I think he can still throw hands when the time comes. But how about him taking a bigger role in the leadership backstage?
Yeah, I agree 100%.
Yeah, I think he as well knows a lot from his brother and
his dad.
From his dad as well. So I think he would be a perfect fit. Even putting like Arn in there too. Like just get these old school guys to, I don't care about EVP, but really to be the reason in the locker room, the coaches, the whatever, the voice of the locker room, and stop. And I think that's maybe why Cody did what he did when he was an EVP, and he said, you know what, I'm not going to go for the title because I don't want anyone thinking that I'm trying to book myself into this. So you know what, I'm just not going to do it. The Young Bucks, I think, did that at first too. They won it, and then they let it go for a while. Then a bunch of other people won, and so on. But I think ultimately that's where ego ends up into thing. I want to be the first if we get this title, or if we do this, or if we have this kind of match. We want to be the first to win. We want that as a part of our accolades. It's just I understand Punk's frustration.
But they were champions for a long time too. Like Cody won, Brody won it. Then it went back to Cody. So it's not like then Darby won it. So it's like he's putting himself over, quote unquote, but he's also putting other people over too.
Yeah,
which is what Kenny was like the tag team champion for almost a year with Hangman, and Hangman's a part of that group too. He's not an EVP. He's a part of that group. Yeah. Then he wins the title, and he's almost champion for another year. The Young Bucks win the title, and they're champions almost for a year. So it's like when they should have easily dropped it to FTR the first time FTR when they wrestled FTR,
right?
Because here you have an established tag team coming in from your competition. Give them the belts, put them over,
right?
You know what I mean? So that's why I tend to tune out when the Young Bucks wrestle. I don't like them to begin with. Their style, it's shit, I think. And just the fact that it is,
it's straight cut in this podcast.
Yes, it is.
Oh, but it's legit though. It's not even good flip-de-doos. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
I know.
But that's it. It's if Tony's serious about this and he wants the ship to continue going forward as much and in a good way, because there is still a lot of good momentum the company has. They're still putting on good shows. They're still getting relatively good press. They're still getting relatively good numbers. So before it starts to really, really go downhill, where you're having talent want to leave, make a change.
Well, it's because I totally agree with that 100%. But what I find disappointing is that after the pay-per-view, the spotlight had to be on MJF's return, and instead it was all on this press conference scrum.
Yeah. And it was based off of MJF. MJF was talked about. A few of the interviewers asked something, but I think it was literally one of the first two questions, and then we never heard anything about MJF ever again. And I'm like, fuck, man, that should have been your main thing to talk about, how that's going to go over. But and that's why I personally think CM Punk's attitude is shit. They need to also try to control CM Punk's anger management issues and get all that shit dealt with. And just, because I don't want to see CM Punk get fired. I think he's amazing for the company as well. I'm not an overly huge fan of his stuff, but I think he's a killer promo guy. And I think he certainly does sell a lot of tickets. And that's great. But if you're going to act like this all the time, though, when something doesn't also go your way and you're going to be this cocky, pompous prick as well, then I don't want you in my fucking company either. You know what I mean? Like, I know it's not all his fault, but he does have an ego that, surpasses the level of Jericho. Doesn't even have that big of an ego. And Jericho's been in the company, been wrestling for 30 plus years.
Yes.
So
if anybody should have an ego, it's Chris
Jericho. Yeah. He has an ego on the screen, but that's fine.
Kayfabe, yeah.
That's his act.
And that's just the only thing I dislike about CM Punk, because it's not that he's mad about that. He's done this before, and then apparently he threatened that he was going to sue, I think, one of the Jacksons or something, which I can see him saying, because guess what? He's done that with WWE. He's done that with Cole Cabana. He's, you know what I mean? Like, granted, all kind of sort of same scenario and whatever, but I could see him do that. The guy needs to put himself in check and fucking do what he wants Adam Page to do. Stop just thinking about yourself, bro. Get your ego out of the wrestling. And I get all wrestlers have egos and it's part of the thing and whatever, but at the end of the day, that is what's going to break your company again. You know what I mean? That is what's going to get you fired, or what's going to get a lot of people to want to leave. It's the morale of the backstage. They're not going to like it. They don't want to pick sides. Y'all should be one side together, and that's it. And I don't know. We'll see what happens. It's an ongoing thing. So,
and we can't forget that he basically, we talk about what he was saying about Colt Cabana and about EVPs, but we don't forget when that question was asked to Tony Khan about MJF, and he's like, he thought it was the right time to bring MJF back. CM Punk did say, it seems like he's adamant to make me work with pricks.
But he put him over. But he put him over too.
He did put him over. He said MJF was one of the cool guys.
He put him over. He put him over as far as the talent. Yeah, he said what he said, but at the end of the day,
I think that was more just like a joke, though, because MJF's a prick, right?
Yeah, because okay, I'll take it. I'll take it like that then.
This reminds me a lot of. I'm gonna go back in time, but
here we go.
When Shawn Michaels was the prick in the company,
there you go,
and he left. And he found Christ. And look.
Well, but he got fired. Well, he didn't get fired. He got suspended. It was an injury.
Yeah, but he lost his smile. Don't forget. He lost his smile. When you lose that smile, like Justin, you lose it a lot, and that's why.
And he had issues, and he had real issues with Brett, but made an amazing feud. Right.
But that's the amount of professionalism they did have at that time. They fucking hated each other, but when they went on screen, absolutely amazing. And granted, Adam Page and CM Punk also did a freaking great match as well.
But yes, but imagine if we had social media at that time. It would be the same shit where it is now.
I was about to say that. Yeah, you're right.
Or maybe even worse because it's two big names.
We don't big names.
Well, I don't know. There was the magazines, guys. There was also the magazines. Yeah. We weren't reading them, but
I used to collect those.
There was the fight backstage where they were pulling each other's hair, and Pat Patterson had to get in the middle and
and the spit and everything. Yeah,
and that stuff happens. Backstage drama will happen. The problem is when you make it public, like CM Punk did. That's the problem.
Well, social media has a role to play.
Well, yes, definitely,
100%.
Yeah, definitely, no doubt about that. Because now there's so much. Before yes, we had dirty sheets. And Dave Meltzer was around back then, but now we just have all kinds of them.
And I understand his frustration, CM Punk's frustration as well with, hey, what do you have? Is that a water bottle? What is that? Someone keeps tossing a water bottle. I don't know. Fucking someone playing with a water bottle or
I'm having my coffee. I'm having my coffee.
All right.
Where do you see a water bottle? What the hell's wrong with you? Go look for your peanuts in your drawer.
It's either kid crazy because he's not on camera and he's playing with something, or
No,
it's
I'm not. I swear to God.
or it's Jeff fucking twiddling something there trying to annoy people. It's either one or the other. It's one or the other. Either way. That's why I get CM Punk's frustration though of, hey guys, y'all should be more responsible with what you report and so on and so forth, because it's ridiculous. You're playing with people's lives, yada yada yada. But CM Punk, understandably, they should be, you know what I mean? They should be responsible in reporting, but that's their fucking job. That's their job to do what they do. And that's how they make money and make business. And at the end of the day, you as a wrestler know that's what comes with the territory for being a wrestler and so on and so forth. It's shit, but it's in the world we've lived in for the past, I don't know, 20, 30, since social media has become a thing. It comes with the territory now. So you can't be bitching about that, because that's it is what it is. You know what I mean? So
yeah, it is. Anyway.
Yeah. So all that to say, on Dynamite, everyone was excited to see what was going to happen on Dynamite. And essentially, the titles were relinquished for the Trios Championship. So it's no longer the Young Bucks and Kenny Omegas. And also now we're going to get another tournament for the World Championship.
Yeah.
Was it just me, or did you guys hear the pop when Tony Khan announced that the World Championship was being vacated?
No.
Didn't he get booed? Wasn't he getting booed? Yeah,
he got booed.
It was a mix, though. But you're right, though, Mike. It was a mix,
he got booed when he started talking, but I heard the pop when they said the world title tournament. Yeah.
I thought I heard a bit of a pop, but I wasn't sure, because sometimes it mixed reaction. So I just wanted to be sure if you guys heard it too. You know.
And it's perfect because the finals are going to be in New York, which is MJF's hometown.
Yeah.
So it works out.
It's going to be in New York, and it's going to be it's in 2 weeks, right? Okay, yeah. So
it's in New York.
Yeah, next week is Albany, and the week after is the Grand Slam at the Arthur Ashe.
Yeah.
But that's if he cashes in, right? He might not necessarily cash in to make it a triple threat because he's not in the tournament.
No, he's not in the tournament, but
he doesn't have to be. He doesn't have to be.
Yeah, like he said yesterday. Yeah.
Yeah, but I feel like that would be more of a full gear scenario. Then
I think it'd be full gear.
Yeah. You know, but it does make sense. It would have to be a triple threat then, or he cashes it in if he can after the match.
Yeah, I mean, Money in the Bank. They've been doing it with Money in the Bank for years. What difference? There's no difference.
Because, but I don't know if they can. I think you have to announce it beforehand.
I don't think it's like a Money in the Bank. I think it's like you choose where you want to have your match. You don't.
Yeah, I think that's the difference with it. Yeah. I'm not entirely sure. I don't remember the other chips.
Because he said I can have my match anytime, anywhere. So it could be like
with Mox's promo yesterday. It seems like Mox is on the way to get the title again.
That's what I was gonna say. I think it's to be MGF Mox at Full Gear.
Is that the good matchup to have, you guys? What do you think?
But I would like to see Brian Danielson in there too.
Yeah.
I would like to see Brian win the tournament, but
they kind of set it up though for Moxley and MJF though with all that whole little thing. Like Moxley didn't have to come out during MJF's little thing. MJF though, I missed that fucking prick. What a fucking great promo once again. I really enjoyed that.
Look, I'm not a Moxley guy, but his promo gave me goosebumps.
Oh, it was great. And I think he was literally talking to
the people in the back.
The people in the back as well. Say, hey guys, listen, this is not a title as a prop. This title here is not about the money. It's about the passion for the business. Start having that passion again. Work hard, yada, yada, yada. And let's get back to wrestling. Let's get back to why we're here. Fuck the politics. Let's do what we love. Let's get paid for it, but also have passion for what we do and so on and so forth. So I thought it was a great promo and it was much needed, I think, to up the morale of the backstage locker room. I imagine it worked. So, that was well done by Mox. And now we have new trios champions, which is the Death Triangle. So
good choice.
I really, in my opinion, I would put the Dark Order in it, but yet I know they're injured. But I really think they should have won it in first place.
Or best friends.
Or best friends, yeah.
But best friends were there. But I mean, at the end of the day, there's that whole issue with Dark Order, right? You're not going to want Adam Page in it because of this whole scenario too. Adam Page anyways, had a fucking fantastic match with
Daniel.
Brian Danielson.
Brian Danielson. Just great as always. I don't know if it was good as their first two, but it was still a fantastic match.
I think the first one was the best one about the three of them.
You see, it's good. It's also good too for the company that they were able to deliver on this show to kind of detract away from the negative press.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
I agree.
I'm sorry, we're cutting you.
Yeah, what the hell? Why are you doing that to Mike? Come on.
No. I was just agreeing with Jeff.
Yeah, Justin, don't cut him off, man.
My bad. No, as you were saying, Jeff, sorry.
No, but it's just like it's just basically that's it. I'll reiterate what I said. It's just it's a good thing that they put on a pretty good show to kind of detract a bit from the negative press. That's all. Yeah,
and I was just gonna mention, and they did remove Kenny Omega off the intro. They also did remove CM Punk off the intro.
Oh, I
even
didn't notice.
during the promo, when showing what happened at All Out, they didn't even show CM Punk. They just showed MJF come out.
Yeah,
CM Punk wasn't even shown. I thought that was weird as hell, but I was like, okay, what's going on? Why aren't they even? They're literally just trying to show you nothing about any kind of drama of any kind of sort. Let's not put CM Punk in anything. I don't even know if that's like a legal thing with CM Punk maybe threatening to do like a lawsuit or something. And then so Tony Khan just doesn't want to get involved with any of that drama in the sense of putting it on TV. They did very well with that. Considering there wasn't a whole lot of progression of anything, but I mean, he had to vacate 2 titles. So with what he had to work with, I thought it was spot on. And the viewership was a little higher too, on top of
a million.
Well, it was a little higher than last week, because last week was 1.02 and this week was like 1.35. So,
but the thing is, if Phil gets fired, I'm gonna call him Phil now. If Phil gets fired, he's gonna stay home with Larry. But if Kenny and the Bucks get fired, they're welcome in New Japan 100%. So
yeah.
I mean, yeah, they're not going to be, or maybe even WWE.
I don't think they're going to take them now with all this shit. Well, this heat.
Young Bucks maybe not, but Kenny probably.
I don't see Kenny going. I see more the Young Bucks going, because Trips was the one that was high on the Young Bucks when I think it was, I don't know, like a few years ago. I think Trips was the one who mentioned they wanted to try and get the Young Bucks in, and I think they had some kind of stupid match. They were, I don't know where they, but they had some kind of like dark match or something.
But the tag team division isn't as established, or at least if they're working towards that, it wouldn't make sense for them to go to WWE, because they'll just get lost in the shuffle underneath WWE's already the tag teams they already have. So,
well, I mean, maybe that's what he needs, though. He needs the Young Bucks to kind of maybe do something with his tag team division. You know what I mean? Because the tag team division isn't essentially there. So, hey, let me get the Young Bucks. Young Bucks versus Street Profits. Young Bucks versus Usos. Young Bucks versus New Day. Let's go. You know, that might be a fun time.
How much can we see of Profits versus Usos? You know, it's a cycle.
Yeah.
The options are not unlimited there.
Right. I mean, the Viking Raiders versus New Day was fucking awesome, though. I was not expecting that, but that was a good time on SmackDown.
Yeah, we should see more of the Viking Raiders.
Yeah.
Imagine just if I just wanted to get back to All Out. If FTR and Hangman Page hadn't left the building yet, how much that could have been much worse.
FTR would lose all their titles.
Right.
Even for the next night. Well, I know we didn't see FTR, did we yesterday?
No.
Didn't Dax wrestle? Didn't Dax wrestle?
Oh no, he's wrestling for the ROH title. Yeah, for the ROH title.
Sorry.
Yeah. So we saw Hangman Page in a big match with Brian Danielson, but I'm sure they would have been involved if they were still in that. And I don't know how Adam Page.
Well, he's on Rampage though. I think Dax is fighting on Rampage.
Yeah, he's fighting on Rampage for the ROH title against Claudio. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. So, So you mean he was at the taping? You're right. Yes, that means yes.
He was there technically.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that
that's
makes
right. Because I keep on thinking Rampage was on Friday, but yeah, it's taped on Wednesday. So that makes sense that he was there in the arena. But I wouldn't imagine Hangman Page not react after hearing that if he was there. So maybe with 48 hours later, you're more the dust settles a bit. You're more grounded. But I can only see how that locker room could have been depleted if FTR would have been suspended and also Adam Page.
Yeah, well, that's it. They just weren't there. Everyone's gonna have their opinions on the matter, anyways. At the end of the day, all those guys were suspended because they took it too far. They took it way too far and made it completely unprofessional. And it's you can hate the Young Bucks, that's fine. Just don't go and try to attack them or go up to their face or whatever. Same thing. You can hate CM Punk, but the whole point is just acting professional while you're in the building. Doesn't matter your opinion.
No, yeah, but my point is that how it could have affected business. That's what I mean. Like it could have been much worse than it was, even though it was pretty fucking bad. And I'm just saying, like, these things you have to keep the in the kettle in the pot, right? Is that how they say it? Or something like that.
I know it's the pot calling the kettle black as a thing, but I don't.
Well, if it's a smaller kettle that goes into a bigger pot, that makes sense.
There we go. Thank you very much.
There we go.
But as far as that, well, that's no shocker there. But anyway, what they should do, like what Mike said about business wise. Turn this into an angle.
Sorry.
Now it's about business. Yeah. You're going back to business. Turn this into an angle.
You want to draw money? It seems like Tony Khan doesn't like to do this because I think he doesn't trust his wrestlers to keep it professional.
Well, no kidding. Look at
yeah, but if you but at the end of the day, if you have someone like a Jericho that could kind of sit them down and say, "Hey, listen, guys, if you turn this into an angle, we can draw money with this."
Right.
Fuck the heat. Who cares what heat they have? But if they're going to draw money out of it, that's the goal, no?
Of course. After this all happened, you might as well use it. The ones you're not going to... we don't know what's going to happen with CM Punk because apparently there's a lot of heat now backstage. But we'll see now that... I think his injury kind of like gives it a cushion for them to work this out. But I don't know.
Right. Yeah, and I think that's maybe why Khan kind of doesn't not want it to happen either, because he's a promoter at the end of the day and he's like, I can use this to my advantage for like a future storyline. Like, imagine if I can get CM Punk versus Colt on a show, on a pay-per-view.
No, about CM Punk against Kenny.
Or CM Punk and Kenny. You know what I mean?
That's a big money draw.
That's why you turn what happened backstage into an angle. That's it.
Yeah. I mean,
that's a way to say it. Yeah.
I just don't. I don't believe Punk can be professional enough to do that.
That's the problem.
Really don't.
I agree.
But I think at the end of the day, he understands business. So I think he's able to put his ego aside because I think he's done it in WWE.
That's true.
Where he's wrestled guys that he didn't want to wrestle, and he did it because it was business.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
At any point in time, and like when he was on Colt's podcast just right after he got released. It's on YouTube. You can go check it out. I think he did 2 shows with him, and he even said there's times where he didn't feel like wrestling Batista again because it was like he should have wrestled other people. But at the end of the day, it's business. He did it. He could have very well at any point in time taken his ball and go home, and he did what he did, and that's it.
No, that's true. And he sat there through John Cena promos bashing him, through Triple H promos bashing him. So knowing him now, maybe he was probably boiling inside, but he kept it. I have to give it to him. And those moments, he kept it professional. So hopefully,
it's true.
They could draw money from this, and he keeps it professional because I think Kenny and CM Punk could be a big money draw.
Yeah. I think in his defense, though, is you have to maybe it's something he has to kind of get over eventually. But I think when you're the kind of guy that comes from the indies and you have that stigma of, well, you're never going to make it, you're never going to be big. You're never going to draw, and all of a sudden he does, you have a chip on your shoulder. And sometimes that chip stays with you for a long time. And I think that's CM Punk's problem, is that that chip on his shoulder stays there, so that's why maybe he outlashes the way he did at the media scrum.
Yeah, that's fair.
So
Yeah.
I can't fault him too much for that, because you can kind of understand if you're the kind of guy that's always been told that, well, you're never gonna make it and you're never gonna do this, you're never gonna do that, but then you actually do. It's like it's him saying, fuck you, look what I did now.
Yeah, but it's and I get it, but he also wasn't there. He wasn't in wrestling for 7 years. He completely left it. So you would think that he kind of just said, hey, fuck it, whatever, wrestling, I'm done with. It is what it is. I've done everything I could. Goes back to AEW. That chip does come back, I guess. But you would think he would be more mature, like Jericho would be, in the sense of, well, I'm just here to help out the younger guys. You know what I mean? Like, I'm just here to give my hand in where I can. This, at the end of the day, this is not about improving CM Punk. This is about improving the younger stars, like he had mentioned on his first promo at AEW. You know what I mean? Sure, they might be ungrateful, but what can I do to make sure that they understand that this would be better for business and so on and so forth? And how can we improve this mentality? You know what I mean? He has to be a bit more, he has to have a better outlook than just thinking about himself. I think that's the problem, though. He still has that immature outlook about him wanting to be the top guy and reliving his glory years. CM Punk, this is not about you reliving. Sure, Tony Khan will give you the world, and it looks like he does take advantage of that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because Tony Khan's such a fucking fanboy for CM Punk that
Phil.
Tony
His
Khan
name is Phil.
It's Phil.
It's Phil.
But I have a question though, Justin. I have a question.
Oh.
By any chance, did you ever train to become a maestro? Because I noticed a lot of times you're like this. It's like
I know
you must-
it was my dream of mine. I just gave it up.
Sorry. I had to ask.
I had too many Italian friends, apparently.
There you go. But CM Punk. So now MJF is back. Did you guys hear that voicemail message from Tony Khan?
Yes.
They played it twice. They played it at All Out and at Dynamite last night.
Yeah. Gold.
Does that that is pretty well done. I don't know who thought about it, if it was Tony or if it was MJF, but it was very, very well done. And MJF was gold, coming out as a baby face and then turning. Everybody knew he was going to turn, right. but it was just perfectly done. Does this confirm or change any of you guys' idea if this was a work from the beginning 90 days ago or not?
I think so. Maybe a work shoot. I mean, there might have been some truth behind it.
A shoot turned into a work type of thing.
Well, that's what I was referring to. Khan has done this before.
Yeah.
With MJF. But I just don't get, he's getting more money, but he doesn't have to extend his deal.
Yeah. So basically he got what he was asking for.
And then Khan gets nothing?
Yeah,
you know what I mean? I'm almost certain that he got his deal extended.
Khan gets MJF back.
Yeah, he gets a big name on TV.
Well, yeah,
that's what he gets.
That's what he gets. Yes, that's for sure. That's big for him. But I mean, it does make him look weak because that was MJF's position. He wanted the more money now without having to extend. And Tony Khan's position was, I'll give you the more money, but you'll have to give me something in terms of extension. And now it looks like MJF got everything, Tony Khan got nothing, and it makes the general manager on kayfabe general manager or the real owner look weak.
Jericho mentioned something like that too about the contract, and he didn't go too much into detail, but he's like, if you're a professional, if anything, negotiate when your contract's up, not when you're like a year or two out.
Right. Oh, definitely.
Yeah, I think whenever he retires, I think he should be put in a pretty high position in AEW. I would if I were Stoney, I would give him money, whatever he wants. Here, be the locker room leader. Be the GM. You want to be talent relations or whatever. Him, yeah.
And he's been there since day one, so it's it would be a good fit.
It'd be a good fit, yeah. I agree with that. But he's still mentioning it, right? He's still mentioning it. Obviously, it's a more kayfabe. Welcome to the war of 2024. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, the only real important con is good old jolly Saint Nick. You know what I mean? Like, amazing.
My idol, the game. My good friend Cody Rhodes.
Roadie Coaster, I think he was saying something like that.
Yeah.
Roller Roadie Coaster.
He pretty much did it good there. And the fact of how he played with the crowd, like this is for this guy to be doing this at 25 years old and knowing how to get the crowd to where you want them to be is just phenomenal. My mouth was open the whole time yesterday, and I was like, "Give me more of this, man! I can't believe we missed this for 90 days."
Right.
And the sooner he has, I know that Full Gear would be an ideal place for him to win that title, but I think the fastest we put the belt on this guy, the better AEW is going to be.
Unless he's better as a chaser and not as a champion.
Well, we have to find that
Yeah,
out.
You have to give him a run with the belt to see if he.
For sure. For sure.
Yeah.
So guys, we also did have 3 pay-per-views. So
we had wrestling. I forgot about that.
So I guess we'll kind of more do it this way. What was your match of the night for each card? Did you guys watch all 3?
Yeah, I watched all 3.
3, I missed. I'm halfway through Worlds Collide, so I only saw the first 2.
Fair enough. So we'll just start on All Out. We'll just do All Out and
Clash.
All Out and Clash.
Match of the night. Okay, for All Out, I would like to go with the championship match because I really enjoyed it, but I will have to go with the surprise of the night for me, and I'll go with the tag team championship match that went 20 minutes and a lot of close finishes. And I'm just a bit disappointed that they didn't field the crowd and give and throw an audible and give the championships to the Acclaim there.
Man, me and Costa think alike today. It's amazing.
Well, I mean, that's the general consensus all around Twitter, though.
Yeah, but it's like
Yeah,
what Swerve.
exactly.
But it's like what Swerve. It's like what Swerve said. It's a business, not charity. So.
Okay,
Yeah.
all right. So give me maybe what, a Grand Slam? Give it to the Acclaimed.
I think
Yeah.
that's what's going to happen. Yeah.
Yeah.
And
So,
I think it's Keith Lee because now we saw that Swerve turned heel. So I think, and we didn't see
He did?
Keith Lee come out with him. Well, yeah, because the Acclaim came out on Dynamite, but
Yeah.
he cut off the freestyle, so
cut
right
off
away
the
he got
Yes,
there.
yes,
So.
yes, yes.
but Keith Lee didn't come out with him. So I think Keith Lee's going to probably turn on him.
No, it's gonna be the other way around.
Yeah,
That
because if he's
Swerve is
heel,
gonna
he's
turn
going
on
in.
Keith. Yeah.
Or because that's the beginning of his heel. Okay, fair enough. Yeah. So that's what would happen. And we kind of saw that at the scrum where Swerve was feeling a kind of way and Keith Lee was like, "Oh no, I really like the Acclaim. That they're really good. I would be okay to face them." And then Swerve was like, "No, Tony Khan, you shouldn't book this again." Blah, blah,
Yeah,
blah.
it was kind of strange that they were the only ones in the scrum that were kind of still in kayfabe.
That's okay.
That's
I
fine.
guess.
Well, I
guess.
mean, even maybe Tony Storm was too, though, because Tony
Yes,
Storm
true.
kind of was like mentioning the whole Thunder Rosa thing, and I'm like, okay, like, is that legit? Is that just like either way? Like, that's obviously what's gonna happen. They're gonna end up having to face each other, interim versus champions. So,
Yeah.
yeah. So you're going with the Acclaimed for?
Yeah, I'm going for the tag team championship match for
Okay.
All Out. And do I go right away with Clash?
Clash. Yeah.
Yeah, I can't go any other way than fucking Gunter and Sheamus, man.
Yeah, that was a fun match. That was quite a slapper. And you
And don't get me wrong, Seth and Riddle was amazing too, but just they were on another level, Gunter and Sheamus.
fair. And you, Jeff?
Well, I didn't see the WWE pay-per-view, but as far as All Out, I'd have to say the 4-way women's match.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That was
surprisingly
really fun.
good. Yep.
Yeah. I think the whole card was good overall, but that one really stood out because I thought you have 4 really good four talented women in there. So, yeah, for me, that's my match of the night.
I think it was way too long, and Powerhouse Hobbs and Starks didn't need to be on this pay-per-view.
Nope. If anything, Kingston and
Yes, Ishii. Yeah,
Ishii should have maybe been the first match or something.
yeah. That would have set up the pay-per-view perfectly fine,
Yeah.
man. What a match that was.
Yeah, but I mean, it's not to say that the other matches on the pre-show weren't good, though. They were all pretty entertaining as
No, that was
well.
a very good. That
Pretty
was a
much
good pre-show.
great pre-show. It was just maybe too much.
Yeah, except for
Every-
Sammy dropping a ruby on her head, though. That seemed
Yeah.
pretty dangerous there.
Asshole.
Yeah, but there was no reports though, so I guess it's nothing crazy. She's fine.
Yeah.
Thank God.
Thank God. Yeah. You, Big Red.
For a clash, I'm tied with Riddle and Rollins and Gutter and Sheamus.
Gutter.
Yeah, I call him Gutter.
Gutter.
He's a gutter.
Oh.
Yeah, gutter. And
Um,
All Out tied. I'm
Another
between.
tie.
Yeah, I'm
Jesus.
tied. Yeah, the tag match
What a
and
mark.
the women's match.
Uh,
Yeah,
That's
and if
fair,
you guys
Go ahead.
didn't watch NXT, you guys have to watch the Ricochet match.
Yeah, it's the first match of the card. So if anything,
Yeah, that one I saw. It's very good.
well, and also apparently the main match, the main event.
Tyler Bate and Braun.
Tyler Bates and was apparently
can-
pretty decent too,
You can fast forward.
and shocking considering he won it.
Yeah, well,
You would have thought Tyler Bates would have won it to keep the UK kind of
Yeah.
prestigious kind of thing, but nope.
Yeah,
Fuck
that's what
the
I
UK
thought too.
apparently.
Yeah, apparently Braun's not ready for the main roster. Yeah, I guess Triple H has plans for him as champion.
Yeah, that's it. I'm gonna go with the casino ladder match. I thought that match was really fun. I really enjoyed that. And it's okay. The tag match, like it's up there too. There was a lot of good matches for a really long card. There was a lot of really fun matches. I'm gonna go with the casino, and maybe tied with the trios match. I thought that was really good. Only problem is it shouldn't have been right after the casino because I was too busy googling the Joker. But I rewatched it, and what a good fucking time.
are you playing like Nintendo in the background, Justin? What's going on? What was that?
No.
No,
me.
that was me. That was me. That was me by mistake.
Oh.
it's like those old casino machines, you know.
Yeah, Justin has slots right beside him, so he's playing slots by himself. He's winning
Sluts?
his own.
Yeah, slut? What?
Oh yeah.
I
He's
got
a
hoes
slut.
in different area codes, bro.
He is a slut. He's just playing slots.
Yeah, it's four.
The-
It's
the-
450 and 438.
The only like negative thing I would have had about the pay per view is I found that the Powerhouse Hobbs and Ricky Stark should have went a little bit longer.
Yeah,
I don't have a problem with it being on the pay per view. I think it was a decent enough match. Should have went a little bit longer.
and the
It
jungle
felt kind of squashy.
and Christian should have been in the.
Well, apparently they had to throw an audible because Christian got hurt. Apparently.
Yeah, he was injured. He has the same.
Yeah. I
It's
feel
the
like they
same-
could have done something with that though. They could
Yeah.
have, I don't know, like, oh, Christian got hurt, he can't wrestle, not able to compete. Just it was kind of a waste of time. You could have maybe given a little bit more to another match or something.
Yeah,
Like it just seemed kind of pointless because now Luchasaurus turned on
Again.
Jungle Boy, which I
Again.
guess is fine. We're gonna see Jungle Boy versus Luchasaurus, but like I don't care. You shouldn't have turned him to begin with right away. You should have at least done it there, and then that would have made it more surprising and crazy. And whatever. But yeah, worst match of the night
for Clash.
for Clash. And
All Out. I put. What did I put?
I'm gonna say Sammy Guevara because I just can't stand Sammy Guevara. So whatever match he's in.
whatever matches.
Oh, I put for the All Out was the Starks and Hobbs.
Yeah, I guess
You
we're all
don't
gonna
have
be in agreement there. Because
And for
mean-
Clash, I put the women's world title.
the women's matches, both of them were pretty trash though.
Yeah.
The triple the 3-on-3 was very sloppy. And I don't know, it just didn't do anything for me.
And this
And
and
Shayna
this,
losing again, like
yeah,
I get you're building Liv, but I'm over this story that they're trying to tell with Liv. I don't believe it.
that day proves to me that she was never going to be a world champion. I'm sorry, Justin. My condolences, but it's never going to happen.
Unless I hope, but Trips was really big on her before though. I just don't think he wants to ruin Liv. A lot of people still like Liv, so he wants to finish that. And I think eventually we might get Ronda beating Liv. And then
February 29th.
but then I don't know. I don't see Shayna beating Ronda because I think Ronda is going to be keeping it. There's rumors that Ronda is going to be facing Becky or Bianca for the title at Mania. So whether that actually still happens, still a long way to go, but it looks like that's what they're planning because they're planning to make Ronda that superstar sensation again.
Again?
Every so often.
Oh my God.
Yeah. But yeah, it was kind of just very pointless. I'm trying to think if there was another. No, I mean, fucking, it wasn't a bad pay-per-view at all, Clash.
No, it was good.
Much better than Elimination Chamber if we're talking about like out of
Oh yeah,
pay-per-views.
definitely.
I think Elimination Chamber is probably the worst pay-per-view of the year still. So
Yeah.
yeah, really fun. It just maybe I was disappointed that Drew McIntyre or Sheamus had lost. You could have easily have given Sheamus the IC title for a bit, make that feud still go, but you would have had a huge pop over in Wales, in Cardiff, to give it to Sheamus. And I get maybe not beating Roman, but I mean, fuck, man. I don't see you continuing this, and I feel so bad for Drew.
I think this is he's gonna have the title until Mania, man. The way I see it.
The way that they did it, I guess I kind of like it. You bring up what is it, CO Sequoia, I think his name is. You bring him up. That was kind of cool. Now he's part of the bloodline. I honestly didn't want him to be, but I guess let's just put all the freaking Sequoia family in.
I really think he's gonna be a Mania, and The Rock is technically confirmed, but most likely Roman versus The Rock, and I think The Rock is gonna bring more people from the family.
Didn't Triple H almost kind of allude the fact that in an interview where he said, The Rock at any point in time, if I come up with something, he'll be there. So he's not confirmed.
He didn't say that though.
Yeah,
I don't think
he
said that verbatim. No, he said he was kind of more like The Rock knows that there's nothing like the fans coming out to an arena of 60,000 fans, and I've mentioned that to him, and he agrees. He didn't mention, I don't think, like oh yeah, anytime I want. I don't think he mentioned it that way because I did watch the interview. He was kind of more, hey Rock, like you know how it feels, like maybe you should make it happen. You know what I mean?
And he said that the clock is ticking.
Yeah, he was definitely very businessy though on that interview.
Yeah, he's indirectly almost confirming that The Rock's going to be a part of WrestleMania.
It's going to happen. It's in LA. He doesn't need to travel. The story is there.
It's not about traveling or where it is. It's about insurance and his other projects.
He's gonna be there.
He makes more money with his other stuff, bro. He doesn't need WWE. If I don't know, if Disney says, "Hey, no, we're gonna need you in April for something," we don't want you fucking getting hurt or doing any kind of thing. You're not doing it.
He said it before that the insurance problem since his pec injury at the last time he came back. He said that since then his insurance problem has been one of the reasons why he's not back more often, because they're probably asking him for a lot of money to fucking insure that shit, or nobody wants to insure that shit, and then the distributors and the motion picture companies won't want to back him, and like he said, Disney says Black Adam,
Warner Brothers.
Warner Brothers, sorry for the DC, you're right. If Warner Brothers tells them, listen, Black Adam 2 depends on you not going to WrestleMania, I think he's going to choose wisely there.
Yeah, especially if the first movie is a hit.
Yeah.
I still say he's going to be there.
I think he will, but I'm just saying let's not take it for granted that he will be there for sure.
No, he might not have a full blown match but I think he could do a 10-15 minute match. Especially if you pace yourself. I mean, the crowd's is gonna eat it up. So he doesn't have to do a 20-minute.
If old Miss Punk at 45 years old can do a match, I think The Rock can do it.
Sorry, repeat that again.
Old Miss Punk, his mother's wrestling too.
Yeah, what's her name?
Oh,
No,
Miss Brooks. Oh
no,
shit.
I'm just calling. I'm just
Yeah,
calling.
yeah, yeah. I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
you're talking
I'm
about the
just
guy
calling
that
Punk
was
old Miss.
the guy that's been two-time champion
Oh,
and
Phil,
reign lasted
sorry.
6 days. Yeah, him. Yeah,
The guy will try not to mention for the rest of the podcast. Sorry, guys. Sorry, guys.
yeah.
That's fine. It happens.
No, but I'm serious.
Uh,
I'm serious. I think the Rock. I think the Rock can handle it. Like he said, 10-15 match. If they book it right and the storytelling during the match is right, I think it can be great.
I think it might just be the top selling WrestleMania they'll ever have if they end up making it work with Roman and versus The Rock. I want to see it happen. I just don't think it's maybe realistic with all his fucking movies that he's doing, and Black Adam is coming out around then. I think he's gonna try as much
The XFL
possible to move
season-
stuff out of the way.
The XFL season starts, I
too.
think, a month before. Sorry.
Yeah, that's it.
Sorry.
No, that's fine.
No, so.
Yeah, but that's
Yeah,
a good
that-
way
that-
that's a good way to help promote Black
The
Adam
XFL.
too,
Yeah.
and the XFL.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, that's true. That's true. That's also a good motor for that, guaranteed.
I mean, he'll probably be there to promote that shit, but whether he wrestles, that's the conundrum there.
I
He
see
can
it.
easily
I don't know.
be, he could do what he did where he hosted WrestleMania before. You know what I mean? He could do that shit again. But wrestling is just the issue.
It
Right?
could be the mark inside of me, but I still see it happening.
It's definitely the mark inside of you. You just don't want to take anything else into consideration. It's whatever Mark wants, Mark gets. It doesn't work that way.
Sure it does.
To get back to All Out, is MJF part of Stokely's faction?
They never really explained that, but it looks like it.
Well, he's
I
the
don't
one
know,
who got
'cause
the
he
who
didn't
got the
walk
chip,
out
right?
with them. Yeah, but he didn't walk out with them.
He
When
didn't come
Stokely
out with
came out
him.
afterwards. Yeah.
He probably
So,
just paid them, and
Well, we know that Stokely was MJF's manager back in the Indies,
Right.
so there's a
In Major
connection
League, right?
there. Yeah, Major League. So there's a connection there. But I just found it weird that he got the chip, hands it over to MJF, and then we don't see them together ever again. So
And
and they don't address it.
And I think they're gonna just tell that story that he paid him. He paid him and his goons
Yeah.
to be there, kind of like what he did with. I think it was
With
like
the FTR.
FTR. Yeah, exactly. So
Yeah.
I think that's the story he's gonna tell with that.
Yeah, that's I think the way they're gonna go with that. Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, and I don't know what else. I mean, that's really just the biggest news. I guess that makes sense why we spent a lot of time on the CM Punk scenario and whatever, because I feel like that just kind of trampled over everything else that did happen. It was two great shows. I didn't watch Worlds Collide yet either. I'm probably gonna watch the Ricochet match though.
it was
I've heard nothing
decent.
but good
It was
things,
decent.
so. What do they do with Riddle and
Seth?
Seth now? Seth won, so this is going to
I don't-
continue.
I think it's going to continue.
Yeah, I think it continues for. I would think 2 matches until Cody comes back. But because it seems it's not over after that match, it seemed like it wasn't over. And
What's the next pay-per-view? Is it Hell in a Cell?
Extreme Rules.
which one?
Extreme Rules.
Extreme Rules. Oh, right.
I think it's October 3rd or something.
October 8th or 9th.
Okay. There you go. Just in time for me to come back from medical.
Yeah, when are you leaving?
September
my
26th.
26th?
Mhm.
So you're not going to be there for our show. You're going to do it at
No, I'm not going to
Mexico?
do the fucking podcast in Mexico.
Oh, wait a minute. Are you saying that we might have a podcast just me, John, and Mike?
Yep.
Fuck, I'm in, man. Whew. I'm there.
fucking guy. It's okay.
I would love to make Jeff's day, so I am not going to be there that week just so Jeff can get
But
his.
you could come live with your tequila,
Not happen.
Oh.
No bueno. No bueno.
That would be hilarious.
Maybe I'll do it. We'll see what happens. If it's fucking randomly raining that day, I'll fucking try and
Well,
figure it out.
I'm
I'm
gonna
not bringing
do it-
my laptop.
I'm going to do it next year when I go to Portugal.
Yeah, but that's different.
Ooh.
I'm gonna you're gonna see the cow traffic behind me. That's gonna be my background.
Hey, we're forgetting the biggest news of the week, guys.
Oh, what?
The return of Braun Strowman.
Do we care?
I mean, I didn't care until I saw him. The guy looks much healthier. The guy lost a little bit of weight too. He looks okay in red pants, I guess. Completely new gear.
You know who's happy about that? His girlfriend.
Well, Seemingly Justin's happy about it because he brought it up the fact that he looks good in red pants.
Well, I mean, I would have never expected Braun Strowman to come out in red pants. Out of all colors of pants, I would expect that he would have came out with his old ring gear, right? Like, but it's cool. He looked good. He looked healthier.
They made it. They definitely made him look strong.
Yeah.
It's the same thing. He comes in a tag match. He beats up everyone. Rah, rah, rah. Give me these hands.
Yeah, it's nothing.
Well, we'll see, guys.
Nothing new with him. Nothing new with him.
We'll see.
Because
We'll
now
see.
I'm interested what they're gonna do now. Because now you bring back Strowman, you bring back Cross, you have Drew in the picture. Now Kevin Owens is trying to get in the picture. I don't know.
This new era that's beginning.
Well, no,
like
it's
the
good.
same
We don't know who's strong enough to challenge Roman, and it's good because Roman is a 2-year champion that basically nobody was able to dethrone, and now there's multiple players that are going to try to dethrone him. And I think that's good storytelling there.
Yeah, I think they're only gonna. I was honestly really thinking that they were just gonna de-unify the belts. Is that even a word? They were really gonna split the belts up at
Me
Clash.
too. But I also sorry. Finish your thought.
At Clash because of the whole US and Fox want their own titles on their own shows, but also like Roman is fucking part-time now, though, at the same time. So give
Brock
me a
Lesnar
guy
type.
that can be there. Exactly. He's Brock Lesnar's type. So give me a guy that can be there, show up on Raw. I enjoy Roman's character, but at the end of the day, I really am starting to get kind of I love it, but I just also would like to see a world champion on my show that can potentially lose. They built Roman as this monster that I'm kind of just maybe it's had over with.
But also, technically, there are rumors saying that Triple H is planning new designs for new titles. So maybe they're waiting for that to happen.
Yeah, it could be.
Yeah,
It could
fair.
be.
But I mean, I don't know. Fucking make it happen. I don't know. Let's go.
Oh, I agree with
But
you.
I think it's Survivor Series. I think that's where it's gonna
November.
maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I think Survivor Series makes sense. Raw versus SmackDown if he does it that way, and then
yeah. That's
split
true.
of the titles or something. I don't know. They can easily maybe do that because the tag and the world are the only unified ones, right?
Right.
So maybe they'll do something with those two belts at Survivor Series, and maybe this gives an opportunity for Roman to not be champion by Mania too.
Or maybe
So-
they also could be waiting for Cody.
I don't think Trips can depend on an injury to wait for him to make these kind of changes, though. You know what I mean? You have to kind of move on. You
Tony
have to have a plan B. Well, no, Tony Khan's not waiting on anyone necessarily. He clearly has to do fucking tournaments every month now because people are either getting injured or are fucking being a baby lala. You know what I mean? Like
A what?
a baby lala.
A baby lala.
A baby lala. You know, people are
But because
being
I think-
narcissistic and egotistical, and
I think they're doing this. The person who's going to take the belts away from Roman, they're trying to make this like somebody beating the streak, Undertaker's streak at WrestleMania. I think it's going to be somebody that they want to be like the next star. They want to really be like
Brock Lesnar.
Oh my god, that would be the worst. Fuck, that would be the worst for you.
If we were in Vince era, it would definitely be Brock Lesnar.
Yeah, I think that's why I think they might be waiting for Cody. That's why I think I agree that they might be waiting for Cody because I think that's the only one that will be like that will be able to carry the load after of beating a Roman Reigns 2-year reign.
I mean, Steph makes sense.
Yeah, but he's already had his run with the title, and it's not like it was okay.
But Roman is the only one that did Roman beat Seth?
No, not yet.
Well, wasn't that his whole thing? Roman, you've never beaten me. So it could kind of work.
Yeah.
He's
Justin,
faced
come
everyone
on,
in 2 years.
Put the peanuts. Put the
It's
peanuts
not
down.
me. God damn it, crazy. Aren't you supposed to be working?
He is. He's working.
I'm working.
No, he's volunteering. He's volunteering.
Yeah, I can get. I see where you're going there, Justin. Like Seth,
Makes
but
sense.
Yeah, but then obviously we're gonna have to see that Cody is gonna most likely have to get a run with the belt too, because to see if he's able to be the face of the company. Because obviously, if he's not, if he has a run with the belt and it doesn't work, I don't see him staying long term in WWE.
Well, I would also see Seth winning when it's for like to de-unify the championships to split them up.
Yeah, it all
I,
depends of who. Yeah,
yeah.
exactly. Who you want Cody to face? Do you want that match again with Seth, or it's going to be a banger, or do you want him to be the one to take it away from Roman? That's basically it.
Right. And yeah, I don't know. This and it's kind of interesting because now there's so many ways they can. Who will take it off Roman? Right? Like that's kind of big thing. Who will take it? Who will take the championship off Walter?
Yeah.
Who's who now? Now it looks like we're going to be getting a Bianca versus Bailey coming up as well.
Yep.
I could appreciate Bianca taking 6 to 9 months off.
Wow. I mean, they definitely need to maybe give her a little character change, but I don't think Trips is doing anything with that because I think she's a big merch seller.
Yeah, she
with
is.
all her accessories and all that. So, it is what it is.
And she's a big. She helps out a lot with the Make a Wish Foundation also, and she's very in demand there, in that aspect of the charity side of it and the public appearances and everything. So I think a rivalry with Bailey can really elevate Bianca to where she's supposed to be as champion. We need that. All good champions need their good heels. All good heroes need their villains. Well, I think in this case, Bailey can be that for Bianca.
Yeah, and maybe just I don't know. Her whole gimmick is getting a little stale now.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like even Bianca might even need to turn heel at some point too, though.
Before
Again, the merch seller thing.
Before we forget,
Well,
I want to hear what you guys think about the big turn.
Oh yeah, huh? Wow, guys.
Come on.
Oh,
guys.
Dominic. All right.
Hello.
My bad. Yeah.
Hello.
Jeff is like, what the fuck these guys talking about?
You know Dominic Guerrero? Dominic Guerrero, people?
Oh, Jesus.
I think he should have kept his T-shirt on. That really messed up the whole.
I feel like he has a better still body than you do, though. I still feel like that's a thing.
Guaranteed.
was that really what you were looking at?
Jay,
It wasn't what I was looking at. It was what
You're
Kid
scaring me,
Grayson
Jay.
was looking at.
You're looking at his body, bronze red pants.
No, but he's perfect.
You like peanuts? I'm like, guy, whoa.
What the fuck's wrong with peanuts?
Well, it's because
peanuts? What are you, 5?
No, it's because you eat them like a squirrel.
I'm not the one who says bilala.
How do you know how to eat a scrotum, Jeff?
A squirrel.
Squirrel,
I see. You see, you're saying, how do I eat a scrotum? You're talking about man's body and red pants. Who looks stupid now? Huh?
Just let our viewers know we accept everyone.
Yeah, we accept everyone.
Not that there's anything wrong with that.
No. Everybody has a right to love scrotums.
Okay. Whoa.
So Dominic, it's about time. I'm glad that they actually ended up finally doing it.
Yeah.
I thought it worked perfectly. At first, I didn't understand why he did it the way he did it, but Rey Mysterio didn't even go and hug Dominic when they won and whatever. So then he just got pissed, hit Edge, and I'm liking his hair is completely dark now. He actually looks like he's a legitimate heel. So I'm liking it. And I don't know. I feel like they're eventually just going to go out, him and Rhea, because she made Dominic more a man now.
Rhea has a boyfriend.
Yeah.
No, I'm saying kayfabe angle, guys.
My
I
was gonna say,
God.
you know her,
And she is calling herself Papi,
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, yeah. I don't know. I think I was disappointed in the heel turn. I don't know. It could have been better. I think it would have been maybe the point that they waited. They helped him. I mean, they made Dominic help Rey to win the match and then turn on Edge after the match. I think it would have been more of an impact if they would have made them lose. But I don't know. I guess I have to give him a chance, but whatever.
Yeah. It's also see too if Dominic as a talent works in WWE. So you have to eventually turn him heel to see if it works. He can't play babyface his entire career.
No,
Yeah, you can't play Baby Lala all the time.
Well,
No.
yeah.
No, he's gonna have to. He's gonna have to show more of a consistent character if it's gonna work out, and hopefully this heel can do that for him.
Yeah, I was kind of disappointed that he joined the Judgment Day though, because I thought the way that they did it at Clash was totally unrelated to it being the Judgment Day, because he left on his own. It just seemed like he was just pissed. He didn't care for his father's ways anymore and whatever. Obviously he doesn't like Edge, so I just thought he was going to be on his own. But then we see him come out with Judgment Day and I'm like, oh, okay, so now he's with Judgment Day. Would have maybe, I guess they don't believe in enough of him to be a singles competitor yet, which I guess understandable.
But I like the point that he's not talking. It's more mysterious.
Well, that's the idea, yeah.
Yeah, but it goes to added on a little bit to like what I said earlier. Eventually, he's gonna have to say something, because if he's just gonna rely on being in an angle with his father, then this is just a short-term thing that Dominic's gonna be there. You know?
No, I think we should see Dominic Edge first.
Yeah.
But eventually, this storyline has to end with a father versus son match.
Yeah, yeah. And I hope this completely changes how he wrestles, too. Right? It's gonna have to, I imagine. We won't see him do a 619 anymore. We won't see him try to be his father. So I would hope a lot more people are trying to do stuff with him backstage. Like, I don't know, fucking Damien is trying to show him certain stuff he can do as a heel. He has to be a bigger wrestler. He can't be a lucha libre. He's too big for it. So,
but I have a question: was the Dominic plan? Was it meant to be short term, or is like actually serious about it? Like, is he going to be a new like star, or is it just for this little like?
I think it's semi-serious.
Just to carry like the Ray angle a little bit.
Well, I think it's more Ray wants his son to be in W wrestling to carry on the Rey Mysterio name.
Okay.
I think that's what it is. And his son is probably like, whatever, I'm not doing anything else. Sure, Dad. You know what I mean? Like, let's go.
Yeah.
So I think that's what it is. I think it's serious because I think Ray was only going to sign up again, re-sign on his contract if they signed his son Dominic for a long-term deal. So I think but
that's the thing. It's like once this father and son match happens, is it a thing where, let's say, if Ray wins, we don't see Dominic anymore, or is he actually going to be involved in other storylines? Like, you know what I mean? Like a new talent.
Well, he would have to be involved in other storylines, though. He can't be riding under his father's coattails every time. You know what I mean?
But what I mean, that's like what I'm saying is like, is it going to be a situation where it's just he was just there to service one purpose and that's it, or they're actually going to continue with him? That's the question I was asking.
That's why this run right now, this story that they're going to be telling is important.
To be or not to be?
Definitely, it's going to be important. Yeah. Yeah.
Hey, it's Mark the Shakespearean red.
KO, this whole KO theory thing, where does it go? Is there anywhere for it to go?
That punch that Theory got at Clash was hilarious.
From Tyson.
Fury.
Oh, hilarious. That poor guy. But as for the I don't know what's gonna happen with the KO and Austin Theory because he got his name back.
Yes.
What happened? Maybe I missed that on Raw. What exactly happened between KO and Theory?
Well, they had a segment together in the ring, and then KO's been doing what he's been doing the last few weeks. Is why are we talking here? We might as well fight. And then they had a great match. Yeah, but cleanly, Kevin went cleanly over. Right? Yeah, cleanly with Stunner, and he teased the package pile driver.
Right. Yeah, I don't know. I don't think there's maybe a feud there. I think it's still just Kevin on the road to fighting whoever needs to fight to get to facing a champion.
Yeah, establishing that prize. Yeah, exactly. Establishing that prize fighter gimmick again. Yeah. Okay. Which that makes sense. And you want to keep KO relevant in the next few weeks while you're building him up again.
And I think it's going to be more of a SmackDown thing where, because of that whole thing with Sammy, right? So now Sammy is probably going to be completely out of the bloodline because now their other cousin is there.
Brother.
Well, Roman's cousin, I guess.
Yeah.
Roman's cousin is there. So they're going to completely out Sammy. KO's going to come to his defense. And that's probably what KO's new storyline is going to be.
I just thought of something just now. This is going to be interesting to see too, where Triple H goes with these storylines that don't work. Is he going to abruptly cut them off? Is he going to extend them? You know what I mean? Like as far as his new vision of the company. You know how
the new era.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah.
Example of what kind of storyline that might not be working though.
Well, let's say like you were talking about, like the Kevin Owens thing. Not that it's not working, but I'm saying, are you going to try to shift it? Like maybe give him a different angle like Kevin Owens, or still go with that prize fighter gimmick that he was doing? Not to say that it didn't work, but it's like eventually if it doesn't, because obviously as everything in wrestling has to somewhat change to a degree, it's going to be interesting to see where he goes forward with it. Is it just going to rest on his laurels and say, well, this worked, let's just continue it and try to build on it, or let's come up with something different?
So I think you have to you want to keep him relevant. But at the end of the day, I mean, you can't just put him in irrelevant storylines every week with different people just to keep him relevant. So I think a good way to do it would be like JLB was saying on SmackDown, this whole Sammy situation. I think they can go Sammy and KO, which never had a run as a tag team in WWE. Right. I think would be a good way to keep him relevant, because we know that he's not going to be fighting in no title matches anytime soon. There's too many people involved in the title picture now, but you still want to keep them relevant. So put them in the tag team and have them have great matches for tag titles for the next few months. And I think it would be very interesting, and I think it would work, a tag team between Sammy and KO. I think it's happened in the Indies, but I mean in WWE.
Right.
Yeah, you have to see how the crowd reacts to that. It would definitely be, I think, a success for the short term, but for the long term would be to see how it goes. Like I don't see it being something long term, but for the short term, yeah, like at least a 6 month to a year run as a tag team, yeah.
I think it might even be shorter than that, though.
I don't think
it's. How long was Jericho and KO a team for?
Oh, a while.
Was that a while? Yeah. Okay.
At least 6 months.
Yeah. Oh shit. Okay.
It feels like it was longer than that, but yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay. So I don't even know they're gonna maybe go that long with it, because both guys just are known to backstab each other or backstab anybody they're with too, right? So
if them as a tag team, if it actually elevates the division, then there's no reason for it to be something they can carry, for at least maybe 6 months to a year, especially if it brings up the tag team division and people actually are wanting to watch tag team matches again because of them.
Okay, yeah. Then if they're changing a whole demographic for the tag team division, then they're just going to keep it going with that. That makes sense. And yeah, so overall, a really great weekend, and I guess week of wrestling. Raw wasn't too bad. Dynamite recovered kind of from what they can do. We now are going to have Garcia. Well, Garcia is the new ROH champion, first of all.
Pure champion.
Pure champion, excuse me. So we are going to have Garcia versus... Or no, is it Jericho? No, Jericho is going to face...
Daniel
Bryan.
Bryan Danielson next week. I'm guessing Jericho takes the loss. Garcia finally turns on Jericho. That's where that's going to happen.
That looks right.
And yeah, I don't know. I feel like Bryan Danielson might be your tournament winner, or at least him versus Mox for the finals. And I don't know. You can kind of go either way.
Babyface and babyface.
Oh, Mox, I would call him a babyface.
And I think in a tournament, it's not that bad. In a tournament storyline, I don't think it's that bad.
They did it with FTR.
Yeah, but they were wrestling heels in the tournament, no?
No, but they fought against each other for the Owen Hart tournament.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah,
right.
Yeah, but that was more of a it's like a one-off. It's not really storyline. Doesn't have much implication in storyline.
Well,
I get what you mean. I get what you mean. But
Yeah.
yeah,
No,
it's,
no.
But it would be like, I think they would book it like kind of like Brian and Mox kind of showing the young guys in the
And
Blackpool club
yeah.
how to really go at it with
Yeah.
the
That's
real
it.
professional wrestlers, you know.
Because
'cause-
that
yeah.
group itself is just very technical, right? So it's not about being a good guy or being a bad guy. It's just about having a passion for wrestling and being a great wrestler. And
Yeah.
with Yuta being the champion, showing that respect to pure championship, whatever, William Regal, I think they could easily tell that story, no problem. This is not a good bad guy thing. This is a let's see who's the most dominant wrestler thing, and that's it. Who has the better skills and all that. So I think they can play that off. That would only work with the Blackpool Combat Club there. So,
But as far as Daniel Garcia is concerned, I think he should try to stay alone. Like, don't be a part of the Blackpool Combat Club unless something happens to Wheeler Yuta, where they find something else for him, or he gets hurt or something. To have two guys that have very similar styles,
Right.
It doesn't service them that
I
much.
agree with that. Yeah.
Good, you know. So I think Daniel having even though he's associated with Bryan Danielson, but Daniel Garcia kind of being a little bit off to his own, I think is good for him as a character.
I think so too, but I think at least for now they're gonna replace Yuta with Garcia, because I think Yuta eventually is just gonna go to ROH once ROH opens up. So I think Yuta is gonna be a pure ROH guy, no pun intended, doing that. So and then I think maybe Garcia is gonna replace Yuta. Something's gonna happen there. Then Garcia versus Daniel Bryan 3 or 4 or whatever number they're at, and then he'll be alone.
I don't want to change subject, but Black
But
Adam.
you're subject?
Black Adam is coming out October 21st.
Oh, this
Okay.
year.
Yeah, so
Okay, so can't be promoting for Black Adam then. That's fair.
let's continue with Garcia.
Yeah. No. So yeah, that's it. I do agree, though. I really think he can do it on his own. He has a good look. He talks
I
great
like
on the
Garcia.
mic. He doesn't need anybody, and obviously he's a great wrestler too. Reminds me a heck of a lot of Daniel Bryan. Was Daniel Bryan his coach?
No, I think it was Jericho.
No, but I mean like actually teaching him wrestling and so on.
No, Jericho.
It was legit Jericho? Okay.
Yeah, because
So-
he said he had a big accident, and Jericho helped him with the bills and stuff like that.
Yeah, that's fair, but that could
But he
be-
was already wrestling before the
already
accident.
wrestling
Oh,
before
then
the
there you go.
accident.
Then I don't know.
But yeah, so I do think he doesn't need to be, and he's been already his entire career. He's been in groups, whether it be the JAS or where he was before. He wasn't even anywhere. Now
But
we
he was
know
with
how
the
he is.
2.0, yeah.
Yeah.
He was associated
2.0.
with 2.0.
Yeah, that's it. So, yeah, I'm really want him to see because he's got everything going for him. He can talk, he can wrestle. Just you got to give him that great storyline, and I think that's we kind of were seeing that with him versus Daniel Bryan, but now we got to see that when they're like alone, kind of thing. He's not in a group. Daniel Bryan is not going to bring out his people. So we'll see. We'll see what happens.
But now, let's say because you're the fashion connoisseur that you are, who do you think would look better in red pants, him or Braun Strowman?
Fucking guy.
I don't know. We'll just have to wait and see. I can't predict the future. I can only
Okay.
talk on
No, I
what's
was just
there.
all right.
Fucking guy, man.
Fucking guy. Yeah, and I don't really know what else. Essentially, there wasn't anything really crazy. I mean, aside from the Queen dying today, that's but not wrestling related. No.
All right. Yeah.
Uh,
What a way to bring up a sore subject.
no, that's fair. That's fair.
Is anyone interested in these beautiful monk UFC action figures?
Monk.
Monk.
Oh,
No? Anyone?
Oh, Mark. Okay.
I have 3 of them if anyone's interested.
Justin likes playing with toys. Didn't you show me your collection last time, Justin?
They're action figures. I'm defending.
Oh,
Jay.
okay. Sorry.
I just have the Funko Pops.
Oh,
Yeah, I have one too. Look right here.
Oh, la-di-da. Nice. Yeah, I just got China because I was like, oh, okay, why not?
Oh, you put
Of course. Oh, there you go.
It's in the
There
box.
you
I
go.
haven't taken it out of the box.
Is there
Yeah,
a
he
hole in the
takes it.
I
box?
don't let him breathe.
Oh, so
While he watches One Night in China, his
Oh,
favorite porn
Jesus
movie.
you don't make her breathe. Let her rest in peace. Okay, that's just me.
That's horrible. That's horrible. That's horrible. For shame.
Props
Um,
to kudos to Xbox there.
Yeah.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, so I think this is about time where we wrap it up. Let us know, guys. We had no comments today, or did you just ignore all the comments, Big Red?
We had no comments.
No comments? Oh.
Okay.
So, yeah. So thank you guys for watching and listening and always supporting us. Let us know, though, after the show, what did you think about All Out? What did you think about Clash of the Castle? And, of course, Worlds Collide. And about this whole Punk fiasco, what do you think is ultimately going to happen? Is someone ultimately going to get fired from this whole situation, or will they be able to rehash it? And who do you think is going to be the new world champion come Grand Slam? And yeah, we're always here. Just, you can certainly follow us at WTN Wrestling on all socials, except for Twitch, where it's WTN_Wrestling Talk Now. And we're always look forward to messaging you guys. But if you do want to message us on a more personal level, we do have our social handles for that as well. JLB420 on Twitter or twitch.tv JLBTLC25. You can follow me there. You'll see my streams. Mostly do a lot of wrestling video games and other video games. Also, I stream there as well, and links will be down below in the doobly-doos for my other platforms as well. Of course, you can follow Jeff T only on social medias, though, nowhere else. He was followed last week, and he was very scared.
Yeah. Someone asked me if I knew who you were, and I tried to deny it, and it didn't work out. You can follow me on Twitter at JT9783 or on Twitch at Jeff_9783.
Bam. And of course, you can follow the man who's not on camera, the one who's a little loco, Kid Crazy. Where can they follow you, good sir?
You could follow me on Facebook at Michael Costa or on Twitter at Saltita_Costa. And yeah, that's it. WTN for everything wrestling.
Bam. And of course, Big Red.
You can follow me at Twitter at big_red7819. I forgot my hashtag for a moment. Or Instagram, same thing, or WTN.
There you go. And on that note, guys, what a freaking week! I am looking forward to not having as much drama next week, because this whole CM Punk, aside from all the wrestling, really just took out all the energy. Jesus Christ. So hopefully here's the next week being a little bit more calm. We'll obviously keep you posted on what does happen, ended up happening with everything, and we'll always keep you posted. So always check the Facebooks, the Instagrams, the Twitters, at WTN Wrestling once again. And that's pretty much it. So until next time, next Thursday, as we run it down all over again, we will see you then. Until then, ciao for now. Hey.
Peace.